Boker Tov, everyone. Boker Tov, Boker Or. Welcome to our weekly minyan. On Thursdays, it's nice just to daven. Nothing fancy, just to sing those great old songs and recite those prayers that our ancestors have said for hundreds, in some cases thousands of years. Well, let's see. Oh, excuse me, I just need to get my glasses. There we go. I don't know if I went out of your line of sight. Well, it's a chilly morning here in South Florida, so maybe you've got a cup of coffee. I have a cup of hot chocolate coffee mixed. It's called Irish cream. Sounds like it's got some Bailey's cream, but it really doesn't. It's non-alcoholic. But it tastes good. Maybe you have some coffee or something like that. I don't mind if you take sips between the prayers. We need to stay warm. Need to stay awake, right? So, we're going to begin with the blessing over the Talit. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hitatef b'tzitzit. I bought this talit in Jerusalem. It was a little bit expensive. I was in Jerusalem for a month studying at the Hartman Institute. This was about 6 years ago. And I kept looking at it. I kept walking past it every couple of days. And I'd go in a store and I would look at it, admire it. And finally, the day before I left to come home, I said, you know what? I'm going to buy this beautiful talit. It's made out of silk. It was designed by an Israeli artist. Sometimes you just got to do something nice for yourself, you know what I mean? In Hebrew, we call it Hidur HaMitzvah, beautifying the mitzvah. If you're going to do a mitzvah, you make it beautiful. You embellish it a little bit. Sometimes you do that with a beautiful talit. Now, this is the Tefillin Shel Yad. I put it on my left arm. Some people who are left-handed put it on their right arm. I like to put it on my left arm because it's close to my heart. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lahanich tefillin. It goes around the arm, the forearm, 7 times. The tefillin shel rosh. Now the blessing is slightly different. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tefillin. And then we recite a verse from the book of Hosea. Eristichli le'olam, eristichli b'tzedek u'v'mishpat u'v'rachamim, eristichli v'emunah v'yadat et Adonai. And we spell out one of God's names, Shaddai, on our hand. Now we're ready to daven. Now we're going to begin with Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. And we thank God for waking up. We thank God for our physical well-being. The fact that we woke up this morning and for the most part, we are feeling well. Even if we have a pain or two, we feel pretty good. And we thank God just for the fact, just for the reality that we have this physical life. Our souls have a house in which to live. We say, praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basaru mafli la'asod. And we thank God for the soul, that spark of God that animates us, that dwells within the human body. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, Asher biyado nefesh kol chai v'ruch kol basar ish. The nisim b'chol yom, our daily blessings. Page 36 in Mishkan Tefillah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher natan nesech v'vina lechachin ben yom u'ben laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam pokeach ivri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam matir asuri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam zokef kefufi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam roka haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam hamechin metzadei gaveh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam hanoten la'ayef koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam Hama'avir sheina me'enai utnuma mi'afapai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam sha'asani b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam sha'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam sha'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam ozer Yisrael bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam oter Yisrael betifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Well, this week our Torah portion is Yitro, and in Yitro we find the Ten Commandments. We find the Ten Commandments for the Ten Commandments appear twice in the Torah, once in the book of Exodus, and again in the book of Deuteronomy. the Ten Commandments. We, as a rule, we don't include the Ten Commandments in our liturgy because, there were some people who thought the Ten Commandments were all that we needed. You didn't need the rest of the commandments, but in fact, there are 613 commandments in the Torah. Many dealing with the holidays, many dealing with ethical and moral precepts, and all of them are binding on us. So we continue with the Kaddish D'Rabbanan. Phyllis is watching. Hi, Phyllis, and Marlene, and Sherry. Nice that you're joining us. I hope you stay for our meditation at 9:30. The Kaddish D'Rabbanan is page 46. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בימיו דברך ירודה וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומיכון וחיי כל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן, יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעולם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דעמיירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן, על ישראל ועל רבנון ועל תלמידי חון ועל כל תלמידי חון ועל כל מה דעסקין ברייתא די ואתר הדין ודי בכל אתר ואתר, יהי להון הלכון שלמה רבה חינה וחיסתא ורחמין וחיין עריכין ומזוני רוויחי ופורקנה מקדם אבוהוני ושמאי וערב אמרו אמן, יהי שלמה רבה מן שמאי וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן, עושה שלום במרומיו וברחמיו יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. The Pesukei de Zimmerah, page 50. Baruch Sha'amar V'haya Ha'olam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu. Baruch Sha'amar V'haya Ha'olam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu. Baruch Osei Bereshit, Baruch Omer Ve'osei, Baruch Kozer Umekayem, Baruch Merachem Al Haaretz, Baruch Sha'amar Ve'haya Ha'olam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Baruch Ata Adonai, Melech Mecholal Batishbachot. Let's go to the Ashrei. We'll just do the first three stanzas and then we'll skip down to the end. Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha, Od Yahalu Chatzela, Ashrei Am Shakachalu, Ashrei Am Sha'adonai Elohav, Tehilala David, Aromimcha Elohai HaMelech, Avarachal Shimcha Leolam Va'ed, B'chol Yom Avareka, V'chalal Shimcha Leolam Va'ed, Gadol Adonai Mechalal Me'od, Ulato Ein Cheker. Page 53, bottom of the page. Tihilat Adonai Yedaber Pi, V'yevarech B'sar Shem Kodsho Leolam Va'ed, Va'anachnu nevarech Ya, Me'ata v'ad olam. Hallelujah. Page 55. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah el bekodsho. Hallelujah bekiria uzo. Hallelujah bigvuratav. Hallelujah kerov gudlo. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah, take a shofar. Hallelujah, never velchinor. Hallelujah, tofu machol. Hallelujah, biminim ve'ugav. Hallelujah, 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 b'tzitzalei shama, hallelujah, b'tzitzalei teruah, kol hanshama tehalleluya, kol hanshama tehalleluya. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Page 56. Yishtabach shimcha la'ad malkeinu, ha'el ha'melech ha'gadol ha'kadosh b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Ki lachane Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu shiru shivcha halel v'zimra oz memshala netzech gedulo gevara tehila tiferet kedushot malchot barachot v'hodaot me'ata v'yad olam. Baruch atah Adonai el melech gadol v'tishbaot el ההודאות אדון הנפלאות הבוחר בשירי זמרה מלך אל חיי העולמים יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגולה בגולה ובזמן קריב ימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ועלמא יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי דקודשא בריחו, לעולם אין כל ברכתה ושירתה, Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma v'imaru. Amen. We rise for the Baruch Hu. Yai lai 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 lai. Lai 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 Baruchu et Adonai hamevorach Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Aved Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Aved Yai lai 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 lai. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you see the light, maybe just coming through your windows, you know, coming in, maybe going through the slats in your blinds, just lie in bed for a moment and watch the light. Watch how it refracts on the various places in your room. On the walls, see if there's any reflection. Sometimes you'll see reflections, you'll see shadows of trees, of the leaves outside your window. But take a moment and just enjoy the light. Enjoy the light. Think about that. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hameorot. Talking about light, we think about the light within. We think about the light of Torah and warming us and enlightening us. Page 62. V'ha'arerenu b'toratecha v'dabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yached levavenu le'ahava u'lera et shemecha v'lo nevush v'lo nikalem v'lo nikashel le'olam va'ed ki v'shem kodshecha hagadol v'hanora batachnu nagila v'nismecha v'shuatecha Baruch ata Adonai, abocher b'amo Yisrael, b'ahava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad, Baruch Shem kavod, malchuto leholam va'ed, ve'ahavta et Adonai lehecha, V'chol levavcha, uv'chol nafshecha, uv'chol meotecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anuchi mitzavacha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, Uvelechtecha v'derech uvshoch bechav kumecha ukshartam lo'ot al yedecha v'hayu letotafot bein enecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvihisharecha. Adonai said to Moses as follows, Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on each of the corners of their garments throughout their ages. Let them attach a blue cord to each fringe. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all of the commandments of Adonai and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes and your lustful urge. Lama'an tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedushim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet mi chamocha belim Adonai mi kamocha nedar bakodesh norat hilot o seifele norat hilot o seifele shira chadasha shibechu gihulim l'shimcha al tzfat hayam yachat hulam Hodu v'himlichu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Sur Yisrael kuma v'ezrat Yisrael Uvtechinu mecha Yehuda v'Yisrael Go aleinu Adonai tzvot shemo Kedosh Yisrael Baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael. And we rise for the tefillah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'yimotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, Vezocher Chazdei Avot v'Imaot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atah Rav, Lehoshia, Mashiva Ruach, Umarid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishanei Afar, Mi Chamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memid, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua v'neman Talach HaChayot Meitim. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMeitim, Nekadesh et Shimcha B'olam, Kashem Shemakti Shimoto B'Shmei Marom. ככתוב על יד נביאיך וקרא זה אל זה ויאמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך כל הארץ כבודו לעומתם ברוך יאמרו ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו ודברי קודשך כתוב לאמור ימלוך אדוני לעולם Elohayich Tzion, Lador Vador, Hallelujah, Lador Vador Nagid Gadlecha, Ulenetzach Netzachim Kedushatcha Nakdish, Vashivacha Eloheinu Mipinu Lo Yemush Levolam Vaed, Baruch Ata Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Very good. Now, this is the time for our own private prayers and meditations. This is a time to ask God for help, to find understanding in our lives. We can ask God for wisdom. We can ask God to help us figure out our financial lives, our relationships. We can ask God for healing, physical healing. We can ask God to bless our leaders, to make our country more stable. But just take a moment and share whatever you need to share with God. Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imeru imeru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru amen. And now we rise for the Aleinu on page 586. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה יוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. And now the mourner Scottish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shamei rabbah, bi'alma devarach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaychon v'yomechon v'chayetechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam alamelamaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kutsha b'richu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata adam yaran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. O say shalom b'imrumav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. In Kelohenu, page 626. Ein Kelohenu, ein Kadonenu, ein Kemalkenu, ein Kamoshienu, Mich Elohenu, Mich Adonenu, Mich Emalkenu, Mich Moshienu. Nodel Elohenu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Emalkenu, Nodel Moshienu. Baruch Elohenu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkenu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Well, it's so nice to daven with you. Maybe you'll stick around for meditation. I'm going to need about 15 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to go up and adjust the camera a little bit. I'm going to go upstairs and adjust the camera, and I hope that some of you will stick around. We'll do a 15, 20-minute meditation and a kavanah, an intention for today. Good. I think I'm going to do my tefillin shell yod in a little bit. I think I'll wait till after I'm finished meditation. Ah, boy, I think that's better. I think meditation is such a nice accompaniment to prayer. I hope you agree. Yes. So, let's see here. We've been talking about breaking habits, getting off autopilot. I mentioned during the Yotzer Me'orot prayer, the prayer that in which we bless God for light, the physical light that enters the world at dawn. I said, lie in bed just for a moment before you get up and look at the light. Don't think about it. Don't put any words to it. Don't make an intellectual exercise out of looking at the light. Now, of course, don't look into the sun. Just look at the reflections. Look at the light indirectly. Please be careful. But light is amazing. When you look at light reflecting off a leaf, it could be a plant outside. It could be a flower or something that you have indoors. But you just notice how the light sparkles. The light. A different light from different angles affects the color. Just take it in for a moment. Be mindful of the light. Sometimes when I meditate outside in the morning, there might be a little drop of water, maybe dew coming off a leaf. And, if the sun hits it in a certain way, the colors are refracted. And it's amazing. There's a whole universe in that drop of water. And again, just to watch it, just to observe it without thinking about it. Sort of allowing your consciousness to enter into some sort of communion, maybe that's the word, some sort of union with that drop of water. Just not just to drop, to get what we need to do, and I'm talking about it this week, and that is to break the habits, to break our habits, to get off automatic pilot. We can just start when we wake up by looking at the light, rather than just dragging ourselves out of bed and brushing our teeth or doing whatever we do without even thinking about it. We begin by looking at the light and not taking it for granted. Okay, so as the sound of the bell fades into the distance, allow yourself the freedom. Allow yourself the pleasure of just sitting, of being awake to this moment. Observe your breathing. Notice what's happening in your environment. Notice the temperature of the place where you are at this moment, without judgment, without thinking about it too much. You might notice thoughts that arise because of or through the temperature of the air around you. Acknowledge them, acknowledge those thoughts, and then let them go. If the sensation of the air around you and the temperature remind you of something in your youth, acknowledge it, but let it go. And bring your focus back to this moment, to this experience. We know that thoughts are not real. Thoughts are just mental events. We also know that we have emotional experiences throughout the day. Sometimes for no reason whatsoever, we will feel something. And we know that our feelings, our emotions are also transitory. They come and go like waves on the beach. We don't have to react to them. And there can be sensations in our body that we don't have to react to either. We can just observe them, experience them. An itch someplace, we don't have to itch it, we can just watch. Just observe it. A little bit of discomfort, we breathe into it and relax it. Someplace in our body. You can meditate with your eyes open or your eyes closed. It doesn't matter. If your mind takes you away for a moment, don't worry. Don't get mad at yourself. That happens. If you notice you notice you got attached to a thought, that's good that you noticed. You let the thought go, and you bring yourself back to this moment. If you feel yourself going to sleep, wake yourself up a little bit. Now is the time to be awake, fully awake, fully engaged in the world around you. Whatever happens today, as long as you stay calm, as long as you stay present, you'll make the best of it. You will fully enjoy the pleasant things that come your way. And the things that are not so pleasant, you won't judge them, but you will look at them and decide what your best options are. And you'll choose the best option. You will optimize. And make right what is wrong. You will make the adjustments that are necessary. And you will generate compassion, true compassion, for yourself, for those that you encounter. A certain compassion for the world around you. A deep tolerance and love and acceptance. And you'll take a little of this peace and this centeredness with you wherever you go today, whatever you do. If your mind begins to take you in different directions, observe your thinking. Know that your thoughts are just thoughts. They're not you. They're not real, but you can look at them. Choose what you want to react to, and the rest just let go. As the sound of the bell fades into the universe, take a couple of deep breaths. Open your eyes. Adjust to the light. Stretch a little bit. Good. Good. Well, I hope that you will join us for meditation tomorrow and our Shabbat service at 7:30 tomorrow. It'll be on YouTube. It will be on Roku. It will be on our streaming service. It will be on, it will also be on, of course, FaceTime. Good. So, excellent. So remember to smile. remember to bring a smile to the face of at least one other person that you encounter today. Okay, Boker Tov, Boker Or. See you soon.